highlights.
Welcome to our coverage of the Diamond League from Lausanne. It's the 40th Athletissima meeting and they're pulling out all the stops. It's a star-studded affair. World and Olympic champions abound.
Sandy Richard-Ross takes the goal, but it's all about David Rudisha. Goal to Lausanne. It's Alison Felix all the way.
Including our own Mo Farah, the world and Olympic champion at both 5,000 and 10,000 metres.
Farah wins it! The place erupts! He's the double Olympic champion!
And British champions high in confidence after last weekend's trials. Lausanne is the 9th meeting on this year's Diamond League circuit. The 4th largest city in Switzerland, it's also the home of the International Olympic Committee and the Court of Arbitration for Sport. This is the first of 2 Swiss stops for the Diamond League, with Zurich hosting one of the season finales in September. Your commentators at the Stade Olympique de la Pontaise are Tim Hutchings and Steve Cram.
Our first event on the track here is the women's 400 metres. Tim.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, and what a lineup it is. Sandy Richards-Ross, the Olympic champion, goes in lane 4, looking for some consolation after her shock exit from the US Championships in the semi-final stage. She didn't even make the final in Eugene 2 weeks ago. Well, Sandy Richards-Ross in the orange there to right of picture in lane 4. Looks quite supreme when things are clicking for her. She's very strong down the home straight. But it was an inexplicable loss of form when she'd shown such good form in recent weeks, a couple of weeks ago. So, Terrero in 1, George in 2, Hastings there in 3, perhaps starts as favourite, Richards-Ross 4, Miller 5, Francis 6, Williams-Mills 7, Onura for Great Britain in lane 8. Well, away probably the quickest is Shawnee Miller out in lane 5. 4th from left, also Richards-Ross picked up very quickly on. In fact, it's Hastings who's gone off the fastest. Goodness me, Hastings there at 200 metres has blasted past Richards-Ross, who's running a more measured race here by the looks of things, trying to save something for the home straight and erase those memories of legs that were giving way under her down the home straight in Eugene. Now she pulls alongside Hastings. Still really good running here from Shawnee Miller there in the purple in 5. These 3 are pressed. Miller for the Bahamas has a slight lead. Working hard with the arms and going well clear. Little private battle between Richards-Ross in the orange and Hastings. But that's a big, big winning margin. 6 or 8 yards to the good. And look at the time. 49.93 for Shawnee Miller of the Bahamas. That's a huge new personal best. She becomes the 3rd athlete this year under 50 seconds. Indeed, she slots into 2nd place on the year's rankings.
I thought she judged it really well. We've been talking about this young lady for a few years, haven't we, since she won the World Junior Championships a few years back. She's such a talent, but we're just beginning to see that come to fruition in the 400 metres. When it looked as though Richards-Ross should be able to come strong in the home straight, she had nothing left. She really is not running very well at all. Finishing quickly in lane 8, Onura did well, and they were all challenging for 2nd, but a long way behind this young lady here.
Well, Shawnee Miller, a class apart on the night, almost literally 49.92, a personal best for the Bahamian. Richards-Ross and Williams-Mills in 2nd and 3rd, but both outside 51 seconds. Good personal best for Britain's Anika Onura.
Well, what a year it's been so far for Isabel Purley. Said she's got the confidence now to think 2 metres is within her capability. For this first attempt at 188. Sorry, 185, excuse me, and nicely done. So Isabel Purley as you'd expect these days. 185, no problem for her. And really mixing it on the Diamond League circuit very well. And looking for a good night tonight.
Coming up, Mo Farah returns to action on the track in the men's 5,000 metres in a quality field that also includes 17-year-old world junior champion Yomif Kajelka, who has the world leading time this year. British and European champion Tiffany Porter faces a high-class lineup in the 100 hurdles, including the 3 fastest women in the world this year, Sharika Nelvis, Jasmine Stowers and Dawn Harper-Nelson. In the 200 metres, Olympic champion Alison Felix and European champion Daphne Skippers go head-to-head. Triple jump's leading lights, Pedro Pablo Pichardo and Christian Taylor, resume their rivalry. Can both men break the 18-metre barrier again? And 2015's 2 fastest men, Justin Gatlin and Asafa Powell, go into the men's 100 metres alongside US champion Tyson Gay.
So next event on the track, the women's steeplechase, and another very, very good field. A couple of pages on the start list. Watch out for the likes of Colleen Quigley, the Americans having a real resurgence, and of course Emma Coburn leading the way for them. But Ayalu in there, set up, we think, for her to have a crack at a quick time today. Alamu there, Chet Karui. So just over 7.5 laps of the track. The water jump here in Lausanne is on the inside, on the top end. They'll miss it out on this first lap, of course. It's really important, if they are to get a quick time here, that the pace is sensible and they don't go crazy over the first couple of laps or so. The job of doing that has been given to Katoni of Kenya, and then Mohammed will try and pick it up afterwards. There they are, the 2 of them. And Emma Coburn hasn't taken her long to slot in. Ayalu realises the danger. They know who she is now. A year or 2 back when Coburn went off and won, I think it was in Shanghai, they said we didn't know who it was. But I think Coburn's set for a great race tonight. Really pity about this wind, Tim. When we were just talking about the high jump earlier on, I think it's been a bit of a problem down that bottom end. It seems to be really swirling around and in the faces of the athletes down the back straight. But hopefully it just might settle a little bit. And, if she can tuck in behind the pacemakers, then you never know. But at the moment, certainly Katoni's not helping them at all.
Well, Coburn, of course, Steve, in supreme form after winning the US Championships a couple of weeks back in Eugene. Saw her run there and win at a canter, it seemed, in 9 minutes 15 seconds. Puts her second fastest in the world this year. Well, we can take a look at the women's high jump now, and the best performance of the day, the double European champion, Ruth Beitia. The oldest in the field by a long way, Beitia, 36 years old now. And they're going clear at 1m94, first time of asking. The disappointing news for British viewers is that Isabel Pooley, the new British record holder outdoors with 1m97, had 3 failures at 1m88. Perhaps the adrenaline of just last weekend proving to take its toll. But Beitia, the Spaniard, in fine vintage form. Chicharova, former Olympic champion, 1m94. Oh, lovely. In fact, the 2012 Olympic champion, the Russian. Great to see these Russians wearing their heart on their sleeve. How times change. Chicharova, world champion in 2011, followed up that win in Daegu with victory in London.
With 600 metres to go, this is the penultimate time they'll take the water jump. Coburn looking as though she's in a little bit of trouble here. Chebet, Niambura, Ayalu, Coburn, then a gap to Gatent as they come round now with 500 metres to go.
Well, she's a lovely hurdler, is Coburn. Watch her at each of these barriers. She clears it and probably makes about half a metre or a metre on the Kenyans around her, and indeed the Ethiopian Ayalu. But what's going through her mind right now, the American? I'm kind of surprised she's left it this late, if she has got anything left.
400 metres to go in the women's steeplechase. Niambura, who's already won 2 Diamond League events, with Ayalu on her shoulder. And Ayalu, when she's on form, can certainly kick on the last lap. Coburn, the American, watching her go, tries to move outside Niambura. Niambura with that kind of hitched style over the barriers, and Coburn having to work hard to stay with these two. Niambura on the shoulder of Ayalu, who sometimes does kick a little bit too early, and they just really need to judge this right. Coburn still in with a chance here. 200 metres to go. 2 more barriers to be negotiated. 1 the water jump, that's coming up here. Niambura and Ayalu now moving away from Coburn. And again, that hitch style, and takes it much better than Ayalu, who almost stopped coming out of the water jump there. Tries to get back onto Niambura, who's got a 3-metre lead, but now Ayalu coming back again. 1 more barrier. Over safely, and the kick starts at Niambura. Kicks away Ayalu, trying to get there, and is finishing quickly, but she may well run out of time here. Niambura wins again. Ayalu second place. Coburn almost staggering across the line in third. It was 9:16 in the end. They almost pulled it back to a very, very good time. That's a new meeting record. A fast last lap of around 68 seconds. And Niambura with her 3rd victory on the Diamond League circuit this year, showing that she's going to be a real force to be reckoned with. If you don't go hard enough, she's certainly got enough pace at the end. Ayalu, for me, Tim, just doesn't hurdle well enough at pace and loses. She lost ground on the water jump, caught up a little bit, lost ground again off the last barrier, came back at Niambura, but she's losing too much on the last lap when she's running fast over the barriers to really expect to win. Confirmation then of the time, 9:16.99, as I said, that new meeting record. Ayalu 9:17.22. Coburn taking the 3rd spot, and the 18-year-old with the season's best in 4th.
Pedro Pablo Pichardo and Christian Taylor continue their rivalry in the triple jump. Their clash in Doha was the first time 2 men had jumped over 18 metres in the same competition, with both now amongst the top 5 triple jumpers of all time. After nearly 2 decades, will this be the year that Jonathan Edwards' world record is finally broken?
Well, over to the men's triple jump competition, where Pedro Pablo Pichardo of Cuba, the world #1, takes his first round jump competition from Pichardo. Good start here, especially, and it does. That's close to 18 metres. Pichardo with a slight following wind, plus 1.4 on that opening effort from the Cuban. And that looks very big indeed. I don't think it was 18 metres, but it wasn't far shy. Christian Taylor, who had the previous jump, went out 17:33 to hold the lead. But look at this, 17 metres 85 for the Cuban. The world junior champion 3 years back. Surely is heading for a medal, if not a world senior title, come Beijing in a few weeks' time. Confirmation of that 17 metres 85 with a 1.4 win for Pichardo. Well, we can go back to Chicharova, the bar now at 1.97. Remember, Betia in the lead with a first-time clearance at 1.94. Chicharova here in second with a second-time clearance. This, though, would give her the lead. Oh, that's beautiful. Lovely clearance. I don't know if the wind is easing or not out there, but Anna Chicharova, at the age of 32, beginning to look like she is indeed, as you said earlier, Steve, back to her best. She is the 4th highest jumper in history with 2 metres and 7, holds that Russian record. So even with that clearance, she's got 10 centimetres in hand. Back to the track, though, and it's time for the men's 200 metres. Meeting record, a mighty impressive 19.58 by Usain Bolt 3 years ago. And with the following wind, somebody in this field might get reasonably close to that. There is Zarnell Hughes. Ran Usain Bolt very close indeed in New York 3 weeks or so back into a strong headwind. He ran 20:32. He can certainly go a lot quicker. Well, quick running in lane 6 from Isaiah Young. He's run a really good first 60 or 70. He holds the lead at the moment by some margin. Also going well in 2. Really good bend by Zarnell Hughes, considering that tight lane. But still holding the lead is Isaiah Young. They're trying to come back at him, but look at Hughes over in 2. He's going to take this, and by a metre takes it there from the man in lane 5, Jobaduano, who finished strongly. 20.13 in 0 wind, apparently. Well, how ironic. But 20.13 from Zarnell Hughes. If confirmed, that is a new personal best for the young Briton, just 19 years old. 20 in 4 days' time, actually, so an early birthday present from the Briton. But the man who was 5th in the World Juniors last year, things are beginning to unfold very nicely for him here with this run there in Lausanne, and with the World Championship 6 weeks ago, a personal best is just right on the night.
This bend here isn't easy in Lausanne. You've really got to work it well. It's fairly tight. It can produce good performances, it has done over the years, but he runs a superb bend here. And look when he comes into the home straight here. And then he just moves there through that transition part into the home straight where you can lose it altogether, but he didn't, kept his momentum and just got a metre or so at the top of the home straight, which he was able to maintain right through to the end there, and stealing the win almost. A new personal best, as he said, Tim, 20.13.
Zarnell Hughes then wins the 200 metres for Great Britain in a personal best ahead of Chobodwana and Young. Behind him, 4 men with far more experience who have broken 20 seconds in years gone by. Really impressive from Zarnell Hughes.
Christian Taylor in the men's triple jump, head-to-head with Pichardo, who's already gone to 17.85 in the first round. Oh, that's good from Taylor. Responding again. In Doha, of course, the two of them went over 18 metres. The first time in any triple jump competition, 2 men had done that. Taylor followed Pichardo, and again tonight, is that far enough? Another just plus 1.1, the wind being a little bit helpful down the back straight there for them. And Taylor is relishing the challenge that Pichardo is giving. 17.76 for Taylor. Close, but not close enough. Well, the women's long jump, within a cracking field, we're hoping for some really special performances. It didn't quite work out that way. This is Nettie of Canada, who's been having a superb season. Left it a little bit late today, as did quite a few of them. Last round put her into 3rd place with a 6.68. The wind had been a real issue. Shara Proctor recently confirmed her place in Beijing with a win at the British Championships. Her best performance came in the 3rd round with 6.79 when she had a following wind, and it really was causing all sorts of problem with the run-ups for the long jumpers. But the woman who's been in superb form, 7 meters 12 at the American Championships, Tiana Bartoletta, again in the 2nd round, into a slight headwind of 1 meter per second, came away with 6.86. She had 3 no jumps, and her next best effort was 6.73 in the final round, but that's 6.86 in the 2nd, good enough for the win. Next event, though, will be the women's 400-meter hurdles. Full lineup for you there. Lauren Wells, Dovens of Belgium, Rudakova of Russia, Peterson of Denmark. Big breakthrough for her in the last couple of weeks. Theron Nell of South Africa, Springer of Switzerland, Lambaki of Morocco, and Fontanive of Switzerland on the outside. Clean start. Rudakova almost got left in a blocks in lane 3, the Russian. Peterson started pretty quickly, but rises with Nell of South Africa, and also Springer starting well in lane 6 as well, in the blue, down the back straight. There's Peterson, lovely rangy action, and it really has stormed through this first 200 metres, made up a lot of ground down that back straight, just changing down there. And this is the difficult, more technical part of the race, but taking these hurdles absolutely perfectly in her stride, Peterson. And can she bring this home? Nell chasing her, Springer going well, and also in lane 1, Wells of Australia. But Peterson all the way clear ahead. Wells is finishing well on the far side in lane 1, and Peterson just getting tired and chopping into that last one and stuttering now, but picks up again towards the line. Just watch the clock here. It's going to be slower than Paris, 55.01. Nell takes 2nd. Wells in lane 1 takes 3rd. Which I think she went too hard there through 200. Maybe carried away a little bit with her run in Paris, and of course into the wind down the back straight. Maybe just took a little out of her because she became a little bit ragged in the home straight, and particularly the last 2 hurdles in between 9 and 10, lost it a little bit, certainly lost a lot of time, a lot of momentum, but she's having a cracking season and certainly good enough for the win.
Well, Pedersen Steve really did take it to them. She's running with enormous confidence now, and it was impressive that even though she did go out too hard through the first 200, she was able to rally and hold her form pretty well down the home straight. There was no great attack coming at her, but that was impressive. She's just oozing confidence.
55.01 her winning time. Wells did hang on for third place ahead of Springer. Chicherova has got this all to herself now, has won the competition. Here we go, 2 meters 3. Oh, she gets it! Just scrapes over, but that is a world lead. Chicherova really is finding her old form here. Third attempt, second one was better than the first, and this one, spot on, just grazes the bar. And if she continues like this, well, as I was saying earlier on, Baisha saying, wow, you know, if she continues like this, and in a slightly fallow year in the women's high jump, Chicherova all of a sudden is standing above the rest.
World champion Rafael Holzstepper at 5 meters 76. Had a little hiccup at 5.61. First time of asking, that's good from Holzstepper. That takes the lead. The wind, the swirling wind here. Stade Olympique de la Pontaise in Lausanne, high up on the hillside above the lake, causing real problems for these vaulters. But that from Holzstepper could prove very, very important indeed. The German knows it.
Well, it's busy in the field, but we continue on the track, and I think, Tim, this could be one of the highlights. Stacked field, 6 Americans in there, but what a field in the 100 hurdles.
It is stacked, yes, this women's 100 metre hurdles. 4 of the top 5 in the world go here tonight. Tiffany Porter, the reigning European champion, world number 5 this year. For Great Britain goes in 3. Ran that UK title on Saturday in Birmingham in 12.83 into a pretty strong headwind. Jasmine Stowers, well, shockingly, this young lady was only 5th in the US Championships, despite being 2nd fastest in the world and having a couple of big Diamond League wins behind her. Had a disaster at the US Champs. Sharika Nelvis, she made the team. The American was 3rd there. 7th fastest all-time Sharika Nelvis, and the fastest in the world this year. Dawn Harper-Nelson, the old campaigner, 31 years old now, Olympic champion in 2008. She won that US title. Very, very experienced. Queen Harrison, 4th in the US Championships. So Stowers and Nelvis. Both of them right up there in the top 10 all-time in this discipline. One much as the all-time list dominated by athletes from the former Eastern Bloc back in the 80s and before that. Really good start there from Sharika Nelvis, 4th from left, also going pretty well. Tiffany Porter, 3rd from right at the moment. Here comes, though, Dawn Harper-Nelson in the light blue. It's a real battle, this one, it's very close. Stowers coming through too. Anybody's race. Harper-Nelson takes it. 12.55 with a 1.7. Helpful win there, and that time is quick. No doubt about it. But there was very, very little in it through those middle stages of the race. And then Harper-Nelson, who prides herself on her great consistency and particularly under pressure, won the US Championships in 12.55 by 1/100th of a second. Same time tonight to turn back her compatriots and the US champion Tiffany Porter. Porter eventually finishing down behind Harper-Nelson and Stowers, 12.58. It was tight, Steve. Queen Harrison 3rd, 12.63.
It was very tight, Tim. And in a tight race, I don't think there's anyone better than Harper-Nelson off the last hurdle. Very close race, Porter out well, Stowers in the middle going well. She's always in it, Harper-Nelson. Queen Harrison a little bit closer on this side. But then watch from here. That's where she always just comes off that last hurdle, gets ahead of Stowers, who had her arms in the air, thinking she had this one, and then had to kind of retract them as she realised that Harper-Nelson had done her in the last 2 strides here. Just watch Stowers there. Arms go up and then they have to come back down again. Very close in the end. Harrison just pipping Nelvis and Porter for the 3rd spot.
12.55 then for Dawn Harper-Nelson ahead of Jasmine Stowers. Queen Harrison in 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the USA with Tiffany Porter down in 5th.
So Lavillenie, after a pretty poor first attempt at 5.76, he's got to get his act together here. That's better. Well, you can see he's just fighting for this a little bit. It's not the smooth Lavillenie. And almost a bit of a, well, you can see a bit of a sigh of relief there. That first attempt, as Tim was saying, didn't get the penetration at all over the bar. Much better this time. But he just nudged it there, didn't he, on the way up this time? Trying to make the adjustment, the correction, almost overdid it. Third round, already leading with 17.85. A good response from Christian Taylor in round 2, 17.76. So here he goes. Almost looks to me as though he's trying to control his speed on the runway here. Gets it right on the board. Oh, here we go again. That is very, very close to 18 meters. He thinks he may have got it there. This man is on fire. Look at the last phase there. Absolutely stunning from Pichardo. And he knows it's a long one. Oh, it's not quite 18 meters. 17 meters and 99 just coming up. That is a new meeting record though. It's legal plus 1.8. And Pichardo giving them a real exhibition here now. Can Christian Taylor respond again? No, a late change of the women's 200 metres. Sanya Richards-Ross will run in lane 8, replacing Blessing Okagbare, who after the long jump earlier on decided not to contest the 200 metres. So we've got Bianca Williams, Samo, Ahure, Bryant, Alison Felix in lane 5 there, Daphne Skippers and Mujinga Kambunji, for whom the Swiss will certainly be cheering. Cleanly away. Skippers gets a good start, so does Kambunji out in lane 7 as well, but Alison Felix going well. Ahure's run a cracking bend in lane 3. But Felix, Skippers and Ahure very closely matched here. Felix just trying to pull away. Skippers is going with her. This is going to be very close. Ahure's still there, but away goes Felix. 22.1. Skippers second, Ahure third. Strength in the end told. Alison Felix kept calm when Skippers stayed alongside her until 30-40 meters to go, and then she just moved away. And what a season she's having.
Between about 80 to go and 30 to go, Skippers and Felix, there's almost a boxing match going on, a battle of wills there through the last quarter of the race. You can see Skippers here. Felix probably takes half a metre out of her on the bend, but Skippers here transfers into the straight really well, pulls up alongside Felix, and about here I thought she might get her, but Alison is a great 400 metre runner. Felix is a fabulous 400 metre runner, and that strength, that speed endurance really tells over the last 30 metres. In fact, she took about 1.5 metres out of the Dutch woman Skippers in lane 6 over the last 30 or so. Good running from Ahure over in lane 3 after a very aggressive bend to finish in third.
22.09 the winning time for Felix. Skippers with the season's best 22.29, and Ahure a clear third.
Next up is the men's 5,000 metres, featuring Mo Farah in his first track appearance since allegations of doping were made against his coach Alberto Salazar and training partner Galen Rupp. Salazar and Rupp strenuously deny the allegations, and no suggestion of wrongdoing has been made against Farah. But will the media scrutiny that's followed affect his performance?
Well, it is indeed 5,000 metres time. Britain's Andy Vernon, the European Championship bronze medalist at this distance, reduced to almost a side act in a field of this astonishing calibre, where Olympic and world champion Mo Farah meets the very best that Africa can throw at him. Longa Siwa is a non-starter, and Gebriwet as well will not be there, so that's a couple of very significant pullouts at the last minute. But Mo Farah, winner of that 10,000 metres in Eugene, on the 29th of May, will have been putting in a lot of good speed work this last couple of weeks in Font-Romeu up in the Pyrenees. There is Farah, the Olympic and world champion at this distance. Kejelcha, though, well, he's the exciting youngster from Ethiopia, just 17 years old, who has produced some astonishing wins at both Prefontaine over 5,000 and Rome. So 12 and a half laps of the track then. Isn't there a movie called The Colour Purple? Well, this is part 2 almost, isn't it? But the pacemakers straight to the front. And how will Mo Farah handle this one tonight? Will he run aggressively? He has a 1,500 metres next week in Monaco, where he set that European record 2 years ago of 3:28. When was the last time somebody held a continental record of 1,500 and 10,000 simultaneously? That is the range of Mo Farah, European record holder at the metric mile and over 25 laps at 10,000 metres. The pacemakers, Steve, have gone way off. They're, 15 metres in front already. Mo Farah in 6th place, leading the main pack, but they don't seem too many takers in what are still reasonably gusty conditions, I think, as they go into the back straight now. It's in their faces.
Well, I know Mo is looking for a good race here, a hard race. He penciled a hard 5,000 in a few weeks back. Lausanne seemed the best place. He knew it was going to be loaded here. He's trained really well in Font-Romeu. I was talking to him yesterday. His one concern was actually the fact that it is also an Ethiopian trial and that it may become a little bit tactical. He said, I want it to be hard, I want it to be fast. Gebriwet not running is a real interesting, and we've only just found this out just before they started. Longasea were not there. Two people who certainly would have given Farah something to think about on the last couple of laps, both of them very good kickers. So that will almost relax Mo a little bit. It's still a good field, still plenty of good athletes in this, but he won't stay too far away from the action here. He'll want others to push it on, but he'll certainly be thereabouts, and he'll hope that this doesn't become too tactical. And the omens aren't good right from the beginning. As you said, Tim, I think conditions might dictate the fact that nobody will want to be caught out in the front. And the fact that the Ethiopians are using this as a World Championship trial, it doesn't help really when you're trying to set it up as a fast, hard race. Well, I said Wojciechowski had one failure already in the pole vault. 584, his second attempt. Oh, he's gone clear. Now then. Now that's a season's best for the pole. Look what that means to him. So Holtstepper, Le Villeneuve patched actually at this height. Le Villeneuve decided not to have a go at this height. There he is, having a little smile there. What's going on? Well, this is Kershawn Walcott and the javelin. What a great competition we have. We've got Commonwealth champion, world champion, and Walcott. Oh, that's a big, big throw. I was just looking down at where we're at so far. 80 meters so far with the lead with Manio. Goodness me, Walcott, where on earth has he got that from? That is a huge effort. 86 meters recently, personal best in Birmingham, and now all of a sudden a new national record, of course, personal best, meeting record, you name it. He's just got it. He looks bemused, so he should be. Whoa! 90 meters and 16 centimeters. We thought we'd seen it all with Diego in Birmingham. And welcome to the party, Kershawn Walcott. Back to the 5,000, Tim.
Yes, and it's all been happening. Karoki had just put in a 61-second lap to pass the pacemaker. They went through 3,000 in about 8:04, the pack. Karoki there in orange, making a long run for home. This was expected. He's the man, remember, who ran so well in the World Cross Country in China, took the silver medal there, and I remember watching that race and being astonished at the pace they covered the last mile or so. But that pack of 6 or 7 includes Kejelcha. There he is, the tall youngster, just 17 years old from Ethiopia. Tucked in there as well is Murga, very experienced, and Alamiru too. And Diku is there. Mo Farah just beginning to take control as they come through with 3 laps to run in about 10:10. Now, it's perfectly poised, Steve, for the usual scenario of Farah controlling things. And my feeling is one of those 6 around him ought to take the lead and mess up Mo's game plan, but they tend not to. They let him become Pied Piper and control things.
Yeah, except that Kejelcha was the one, of course, who did it in Doha, which perhaps gave Gebriwet the release that Farah couldn't quite get back to Gebriwet in the last 200. Kejelcha went a bit too hard in getting past Farah, and that's always the issue, because Farah will try and hold you off from this point, and they'll all have a little bit of a go. Ndiku, Kejelcha, Soy happy at the back of that group. Alamaru is still there, he won't really be able to outkick Farah. The dangers really are Ndiku, and for me anyway, Kejelcha. Soy needs to get a little bit closer at this point, because this time round 2 laps to go. But Mo cannot give up the lead now. He's got himself on the curve. He said yesterday to me, he says, I'll just do what I normally do. And you're right, Tim, this is what he normally does. So somebody here now has got to make the effort. Of course, they don't want to sacrifice themselves, as Kejelcha perhaps did in Doha, in their effort to get past. But it's slowed up, Mo's slowing it up, playing a canny game here. They're all bunching, and he's just going to wait and wait and wait, and then when they go, he'll try and hold them off.
Well, Mo Farah has been putting in plenty of speed work in preparation for Monaco, that 1,500 metres in 6 days' time. And Ndiku now probably fancying his chances, 600 metres to run. Karoki in the orange just beginning to struggle, having led for 3 laps or so. Oh my word, and there's falls, and that's Ndiku, I think, has gone down. It is indeed, and he's taken a long time to get up. And it's Kejelcha now, with Soy in 3rd place behind the tall Ethiopian. Alamiru as well, perhaps taking a tumble. That was really, really sad, with just under a lap and a half to run. But here is Mo Farah, approaching the bell with Alamiru, the 17-year-old who had the goal to attack him down the back straight in Doha 6 weeks ago, when, of course, Gebriwet came through to take the victory over 3,000. How can Mo Farah handle him on this occasion? They're both surely 6 weeks sharper. 300 metres to run. Haji back in 3rd place. The race torn asunder by that fall of 2 bodies, and more getting disrupted with just under 600 to run. Has Farah got the legs then? A little glance over his shoulder. Kejelcha just seems to have gears in hand. Little glance over his shoulder there. Mo Farah, the Olympic champion. 2 metres in it. 150 to go. They've torn away from the rest of this field. Can the youngster hold back? The world and Olympic champion. He's European record holder at 1,500. And here comes Farah. The gears have been worked on. The speed has been worked on. And Farah wins it at a canter. Closing there in the last lap, Mo Farah. Very, very impressively. 54.44. And there's surely more to come from Mo Farah. Great running from Kejelcha. Maybe went a little bit too early. But Steve, there were very, very distinct signs there that Mo Farah is almost polished back to his best. The speed was there aplenty.
Real shame that Ndiku went down. Alamaru was the one who caused the fall, I think. But look at Mo here, full flow, sprinting away. As you said, 54 last lap, but I reckon that last 200 was probably in the 26, maybe even inside that.
Mo was celebrating there. Did you see that, waving, gesturing to the crowd 15 metres out? He only had a metre on Kejelcha.
Yeah, but he knew, didn't he? I mean, once you've gone past somebody, you've got the momentum. But I think he knew with 200 to go. You know, Kejelcha's good and he's quick, but he's not as quick as Farah. And we saw, as we remember in Doha, when Kejelcha went, he tried to judge it better this time. But somebody's got to go harder from further out. They've got to hurt him for longer. I mean, I'm not trying to tell people how to beat Mo Farah, but you know, Mo has the best kick, full stop. And when he's fit and when he's ready, which I think he is just about ready now, then no one's going to outkick him, I don't think. In Ndiku, we didn't really find out whether he could. Gebriwet's not here, but one thing we do know, that Kejelcha can't do it.
I tell you what, the ferocity of the celebrations from Mo Farah there speak volumes, don't they? It's been a tough old month, but it comes to a smiling fruition for Mo Farah here in Lausanne, because that was the Mo Farah that has taken world titles aplenty, a brace of Olympic titles, a winning time for Mo Farah of Great Britain, 13:11.77. Kejelcha was strong, but not strong enough on this occasion. Soy getting the Kenyans onto the first 3 as well. But what a shame about the falls for some of the others.
There was controversy after the race when Andy Vernon accused Farah of refusing to shake his hand and swearing at him. When asked if there'd been an incident, Farah replied, "I don't know, not that I saw." It would appear their reported feud will rumble on a little longer. The men's 100 metres is a battle between three men with a few things in common. Justin Gatlin, Asifa Powell and Tyson Gay were all born in 1982. They've all served bans for drug offences and have all been first past the post in this race in Lausanne.
Well, the next event on the track, the men's 100 metres, is coming at us from all directions, but this one again proves to be special.
Jandre Batson, a non-starter, but there you can see the rest of the lineup, Gatlin and Gay and Powell. Asifa Powell, 9.84, the Jamaican Championships, but then an even quicker 9.81, winning in Paris the other night, looked superb. Gatlin elected to run the 200 metres at the American trials and stunned everybody with a 19.57. Back to the 100 metres tonight. Last year, this was the race in which Tyson Gay made his return from his drug suspension, and indeed he ran 9.93 behind Gatlin. That was as quick as he ran all year. So quickest 100 metres of the year so far, 9.74 right at the beginning of this Diamond League season was from Gatlin. It was a lot warmer that day or evening. Gatlin's in 4, Gay's in 5, Powell in 3. Gatlin gets the best start. Powell is away pretty well, but Gatlin's already got a half a metre. Gay got left behind, and they're all chasing Gatlin, and Gatlin is clear and won it. 9.75 plus 1.4. Gay may well have just pipped Powell for second spot there. Didn't get such a good start, and it was pretty much all over, I reckon, after the first 5 to 6 metres, because Powell, if he's ever going to win, has got to get out ahead and hope that Gatlin doesn't get a good start. But Gatlin was out and he was away.
Gatlin had an astonishing start. He made Powell and Gay on either side of him look really slow and labouring out of the blocks. And indeed, the race was won, Stephen, I think you pointed out correctly, within the first few yards. Look at Gatlin in the light blue. Bang, up and away. And certainly, Powell in the red looked very slow. By 30 metres, Gatlin was half a metre ahead. And he carried on pouring it on, opening the space on the two of the quickest men in history. I mean, only 4 men have gone quicker than that in history, that 9.75. And 2 of them there are a metre and a half behind him.
Gatlin with that 9.75, well ahead of Powell and Gay. Well, it was a good start for Vesely with that 87.67 in the first round. But that 90-metre throw really has thrown the cat amongst the pigeons in this javelin. Vesely's been in such good form. Another good throw from him. Trying to get close to that 90-metre mark. Really fast arm there, and he normally is trademark falling down just before the line there. Well, it's a bit of an improvement, but not enough to get near the lead. 87 metres and 97, 30 centimetres improvement in the third round for Vesely.
Christian Taylor opened with 17.33, then 17.76, 17.24 in round 3, and no jump in round 4. This round 5 from Christian Taylor. It's a monster, an absolute monster. Gets the white flag we've had with these gusting winds, which are making it difficult out there. We've had quite a few no jumps this evening, but that from Christian Taylor takes the lead and throws the gauntlet down with real venom at the feet of Pichardo. He'd say, right, come on, you think you're in 18-metre form? So am I, and he's done it there. 18.02 for Christian Taylor, and Pichardo has a fight on his hands. A new meeting record yet again. What a night it's been here in Lausanne. 18.02 for Taylor.
Great competition, that one, just the two of them really, but you can probably turn to this event, the 1500 women. It is a great year for this event, but there are certainly more than just 2 contenders.
Well, they are. It is one of the strongest fields of the night. In particular, look for Jenny Simpson, the Diamond League champion from last year, up here against the Commonwealth champion Faith Kipyegon of Kenya. Mercy Chirono, the Commonwealth champion at 5,000 metres, will be very strong as well. The women's 1,500 metres. Well, away they go. It is yet another absolutely bristling a middle distance race Shepkoech will be the first pacemaker. In fact, the second pacemaker, Kajan of Australia, is supposed to take him to 800 and 2:06. And Beatrice Shepkoech to 1200 and 3:10. Yet again, though, Steve, the pacemakers very quickly separated from the rest with what? About 80 metres gone.
Yeah, there have been some fast 1500 metre races this year, but there have also been some odd ones. Think about Laura Muir running away from the field in Oslo when they let her go. One or two said we thought she was a pacemaker. Well, they should all know each other well. You know, Kip Yegon was in the field that night, Seom. Jenny Simpson, I think, is the one for me who the others are worried about now. Jenny's been in such good form. Hassan started slowly as ever, started to move her way through. But they've let Kajan take the pace and just not bothered. And I don't mind that, Tim. You know, as you build towards Beijing, in fact, the pace is way too fast as well. You want to see some more true run races as well. And I think for the likes of Jenny Simpson, she wants to show and continue to show that she's she isn't quite good. She's very good, whether it's fast or whether it's tactical. And I think she's the one to beat here tonight, particularly when this happens.
Well, the pacemaker Kajan went through in 61.6. I was a bit concerned because I've never seen the Australian's name as a pacemaker before, and sure enough, the enormity of the occasion getting to a 61 seconds. That's no help to the pack whatsoever. To be fair, they probably went through with little Teferi there in purple, left of picture, just ahead of Bellete in the pink. They probably went through in about 64 seconds, which is 4-minute tempo. It's just the pacemakers are a complete waste of time at the moment. The gap is fully 30 metres as they come through below us with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, they're all bunching. They don't quite know what to do here. Somebody's got to try and take it on a little bit. Simpson's never been too far away from the front of the group, but she doesn't want to be the one. Teferi is there as well. Hassan happy to sit. Seom is happy to stay in that group as well. And they just need to be careful because Simpson always puts herself in a good position, and then the others are going to have to try and come round her. Kip Yegon, the short head in the orange vest, the Kenyan, just on the outside of the group as Kabiwat comes and takes close order. But it's slow for the group, Tim, and it's going to be a burn up on the last lap.
Very slow, 2:08 for the pacemakers, and they're way ahead. And Chirono, who I thought might start pushing it along, World Championship silver medalist at 5,000 in Moscow. She's got great strength, great speed too, but surely not enough to match the likes of Hassan and Simpson. Hassan there towards the back of the field, running wide now as they come towards the bell. Certainly it's anybody's race at the moment. Simpson perfectly positioned on the shoulder of Chirono.
Yeah, Hassan makes a big move and goes straight to the front. They've allowed her to do that. Simpson just got caught out a little bit and now slots onto the back of Hassan. Kip Yegon also very close here. And Seom, so all the big names, and this is going to be a real test, and this is going to be a bit of a sign of what you might see in Beijing as well. Who's got the speed in the last 300?
Well, Simpson just eased onto the shoulder of Hassan there with 250 metres to run. Kip Yegon in third place now. Simpson perfectly positioned, just needs to defend that position on the shoulder of Hassan, who looks to me like she's got something left. Great running from Chirono in fourth place still. Has she got the strength to come back at them here? But it's 150 to go, 130 to go, and they've been spread-eagled by this long run for home from Hassan. Simpson, has she got the legs? Hassan has the strength, remember. She's good at 5,000. Better than Simpson on the night, and easing away, and Simpson under real pressure from Kip Yegon as Hassan comes home to take a fabulous victory there. Simpson in third place, 4:02. I got the final lap there of Hassan at 59.4. That's unofficial, by the way, but it matters not. Hassan there, destroying Jenny Simpson and making her look quite mortal, I have to say, by easing away over the last 70 or 80.
Yeah, I think Simpson will be a little disappointed with that. To be fair, Hassan at the minute, I'm told in training she's running around about a 158-800. She was trying to get into one of the Diamond League 800s. For some reason they didn't want her in, but she has been going really quick in training and showed it to good effect here.
A win for Hassan, 4:02.36, just over a second ahead of Faith Kip Yegon of Kenya. Jenny Simpson down in third place ahead of Chirono. And the place times for what was a tactical affair, pretty impressive.
Well, what a night we've seen in the men's triple jump. 17.99 from Pichardo, and then Christian Taylor, 18 metres and 2 in the fifth round. This is final jump of the competition. Here he goes. Oh, done it again! He's done it again! Christian Taylor, white flag. Wind is legal, plus 1.1. 18.02 in the 5th round. And that is over 18 again, surely. 18 meters and 6 centimeters for Christian Taylor. That is a new personal best. Better than he did in Doha when he jumped 18.04. So that is 3 18-meter jumps in the season for the American. A new Diamond League record, because although it's not a world lead, the 18.08 that Pichardo did was in Cuba. So that's a Diamond League record, 18 meters and 6. Of course, a meeting record for Lausanne. And taking the plaudits, and rightly so. These two men are serving up a feast of triple jumping. And it's advantage Taylor all of a sudden. Well, this is a good one. That line up there full of the best men in the world at the minute, and the title holders. We've got Downing, Gordon, Coulson, Jackson, Kareem Hussein for the Swiss to cheer, Tinsley, Kudryavtsev and Van Zyl. Just wonder what Hussein can do. He's in 5, Tinsley in 6. 400-meter hurdles. Jackson explodes out of the blocks, already taken yards out of Kareem Hussein, and rises first. Then he settles down, which is what he normally does. Expect Coulson to come back into it. Hussein now into his stride down the back straight, chasing Michael Tinsley. Also going well, the Russian Kudryavtsev in lane 7, and it may well be the Russian leading things at the moment. Now as they change down around the top bend, Hussein almost getting out of his lane there, but going well. Coulson in 3 going well. Jackson will bring a charge down the home straight, I'm sure, but Kudryavtsev still leading. Takes that one well. Jackson coming back quickly, and also Van Zyl in lane 8 finishing fast. It's Jackson faltering a little bit. Van Zyl might get second here. Jackson gets the win. Van Zyl second. Kudryavtsev finishing a rather ragged third. 48.71, not the best of races there. And Jackson had to work really hard in the home straight. Van Zyl out in lane 8, nobody watching him. Did nothing else really than just maintain good form all the way around as others faltered, including the likes of Hussein. Maintaining winning ways though, and that's the most important thing for Jackson.
As they come off the bend, Jackson there takes that one well. Van Zyl extreme left of pitch, a brilliant finish from him. Jackson just clips that final barrier, but battles away. Probably the shortest in the race, but the strongest of the final barrier. Wins it by a couple of meters.
Only the top 2 dipping under 49 seconds. But winning's the most important thing. Consistency from Jackson, 48.71. Van Zyl, good return from him, 48.92. And there you see the rest there. Not a great run from Jehu Gordon in 8th place, 50.07.
Well, we can go back to this pole vault. The bar at 5.92 for Renaud Lavillenie. Passed at 5.84, don't ask me why. But it was a 3rd time failure for Renaud Lavillenie this a little while ago. And that relegated him to 3rd place on the night. Gave Pavel Wojciechowski the win ahead of Holzstepper, the reigning world champion from Germany, in 2nd place. The Olympic champion down in 3rd place. And again, a very, very frustrating night, as that body language shows us all too clearly.
Well, I've seen some cracking events, and this men's 800 meters, no different. And David Rudisha lining up against Amos and Aman. A mouth-watering race in prospect here. Men's 800 meters. So Rudisha on the comeback trail, getting better almost with every race. His camp thinks he's close to being ready to run 1:42. Little breezy here today down the back straight, not sure if it'll happen here. So Chariot cuts across to try and find a good position. Rudisha though won't be far away behind the pacemaker Som, and indeed finds himself slotted into 2nd. Amos into 3rd. Aman a little further back here. And Som stretching, just looking behind. He normally does a pretty good job of setting a good pace to Som. but Rudisha exactly where we expect him to be, and the field already stretched out, so this looks pretty quick here. A little gap between Rudisha and Som, but Chariot there, Amos is there, and so is Aman.
Well, Rudisha loves to lead. I was talking to his agent this morning. He said he prefers to lead. I said yes, but the danger is he becomes the perfect pacemaker for the likes of Amos and Aman for 700 metres. He said, yes, I know, but they've still got to get past him.
And there he goes. This is the part where he tries to run the legs off everybody. Aman struggling to stay with us. Amos is very, very close. Rudisha may well struggle in the home straight with Amos there. The others are struggling to go with this. 76 through 600. Rudisha looks strong. What's he got here as they come into the home straight? The two are well clear of everybody else. David Rudisha trying to fight off Amos, and Amos is coming wide. Rudisha looks behind, he's giving this up, and Amos pulls away. Head high, arms and knees all over the place, but it's impressive win. 143.28. Rudisha beaten again. Not good enough, not fast enough, not hard enough, perhaps not quite fit enough. And it's a shame to say that about somebody who's just run 143.7, but that's for second place. And Amos is putting all of the bits of the jigsaw together very well. I talked about the speed which he has, which given his action and his style is almost incredible to think he can run that fast.
There's a real danger with David Rudisha, unless he's in absolute supreme form of him being accused by some people of being a one-trick pony. You know, he has to run from the front, go hard. If somebody can stay on his shoulder like that and has a little bit of a kick, just like Amos has done here tonight, then Rudisha is beatable, unless he's 100% fit. In fairness to the Olympic champion, he's not 100% fit. He's about 95% fit. There's another few yards yet to come from Rudisha, and certainly he's got 6 weeks to make up those yards.
Aman didn't run so well for me there today, but certainly, you know, when Amos can do that, that gives them something to think about. Rudisha will get better, he'll continue to improve, but this guy is improving as well. So, you know, he thinks he can break the world record, he thinks himself someday. I'm not sure about that, but didn't have to do that today. Good enough with a season's best, 143.27. Rudisha second, and Chariot finishing quickly for third place. Aman, not a good performance from him, nor indeed from Matthew Centrovitz, 149 in ninth. Well, it was a disappointing night for Isabel Pooley in the high jump, but a good personal best from Anika Onura in the 400 metres as her improvement continues. Great from Christian Taylor in the triple jump, probably the highlight of the evening, certainly in the field. But all of the headlines, I'm sure, will go to Mo Farah. He'll be delighted to have come away with a win. It was hugely impressive as well. Two of his big rivals didn't finish. One fell and one didn't even make the start line, but I'm not sure that any of them could have beaten Farah here tonight. He looked really fired up and was very, very fast over the last 200 metres. He heads off to Monaco next week over 1,500 metres, where he broke the British record last year. Watch out for that one.
Our next Diamond League highlights comes from Monaco on Saturday the 18th of July on BBC Two. And then the following weekend, it's the anniversary games from the Olympic Stadium in London. Coverage starts on Friday the 24th of July on BBC Three before switching to BBC Two. Thanks for watching our coverage of the Diamond League highlights from Lausanne. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next weekend.